we're live with the midnight and really midnight for Day Lover React for the Star versus Force of Evil episodes 21, 20, and 21, the finale. We are all tired, so this should be fun for the watchers.
Some of us more than others.
But we will reach the end of Star versus together.
We have come this far. We will persevere, as painful as it is. I don't want Star to end, but all good things must come to an end. This is an emotional year for nerds, man.
2019, it's the end of a decade. The 2010s, animation revitalized after the CN Real era.
Somebody make a song about it.
Okay.
This is to end in Mina, and we shall all cringe together. Watch the pain inspire, countless backlash, and I see Mina.
Before we
then set everything on fire.
So before we forget the intros, let's go through that. Carlos?
All right. This is the Gunmetal Grey Gator here, and I'm here to tell you that watch out, Disney fans. We are about to end an era that is probably more fulfilling to me than Gravity Falls ever was, even though Gravity Falls probably has better quality than this. But I mean, I just feel much more emotionally attached to Star Versus than that series. So heck, go my fanboyism.
Bonus review of Gravity Falls. You're welcome.
Yep, shots fired.
Shots fired at Gravity Falls.
All right. Next up, Day Lover.
Oh, hello everyone. I'm Day Lover. I'm just tired. I'm sorry. I stayed up for too long, and even though it's morning time over here, and normally I like mornings, I'm just like sleepy. But this is going to be fun. It's going to be a shooting star, so we can wish for good stuff to have in the future. But next one.
Jen?
Hello everyone, I'm Jenn, and I don't want Star Versus to end. Oh, how woesome it is for me that this series should end so abruptly. So raise a glass, my fellow nerds, and let us pay our last respect to our herds.
Yeah.
Dude, that went smoother than I thought. By the way, hi, I'm Jenn. Hey, that went smoother than I thought. But hey, I'm Jenn, and I'm ready to end this era.
Yeah.
As painful as this is.
See the shooting star going down in the distance.
See the shooting star fly away. The butterfly, wait a minute. The butterfly, the caterpillar turn into a butterfly and fly away. Fly free.
Well, at least it's not the butterfly effect.
Anything but that. Next.
All right, and second.
Hi there, I'm the Second Opinion, and I have to say, I've seen other shows in the past that I liked, but was like, all right, yeah, coming to an end. It's due. It's very much time. And no, Star Versus. I think this is one of those shows that's gonna leave the party feeling like it's still early and leave us wanting. And I tip my hat to that. So, from a critic first and a fan second, it's gonna get a little weird. Gonna get a little wild. One last time.
Yay!
That was beautiful.
I guess.
That was your best. That was your best intro yet. Second.
Ah, shucks.
I'm already getting emotional.
With that said, are you all ready is everyone ready to start episode 20?
Let's do it.
Let's have at it.
Carlos?
Tavern at the end of the multiverse.
Pizza party. Right?
Carlos.
Gator, you get out of that pizza party and into Star Versus in the middle of the night.
Gator song.
Wait, didn't Gator say something? Didn't he say something about he was getting pizza too?
Yum, 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 yum. Like,
No,
if
it was
he's-
his sister.
if he's going-
You know what is crazy? I
okay.
just got finished. You know what's just crazy? I just got finished eating some pizza myself. Oh my gosh, there's a theme. There's a theme.
A pizza party as we're doing a reaction to the pizza party.
Oh my gosh, this is destiny right here.
All right.
Maybe this
We're
is
ready.
one moon ball.
There
All
you
right.
go.
Really ready this time. End of Star Versus and stuff.
Yes.
All right. Carlos, are you ready?
All right.
Oh.
Okay.
Don't you
we're
dare
good.
start that episode without us.
I'm good.
Alright.
I'm good. I'm good now.
Okay.
All right. Everyone ready?
Ready. Let's do this.
All right. Press play in 3. All right. Press play in 3, 2, 1, play.
Here we go.
Do, 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 do. Oh gosh, we have not seen those laser puppies in so long.
Yeah. They're probably grown now.
From around here, I'm from another.
Yeah.
Yeah.
On some
I'm talking rainbows. I'm talking puppies.
It's gonna get a little weird. Gonna get a little wild. I ain't from around here. I'm from another dimension.
Yay.
Yay!
Oh wow, okay.
Oh yeah.
Wait, to start out the
We're
episode.
Mina supporter.
Oh, this is
Is this supposed to be Mina?
Wait, flashback
Mina.
Mina. It's flashback Mina. Oh.
wow.
Wow.
Who might you be?
Hello there, Roma. It's Eclipse.
Solera.
Oh, is that Eclipse's
Yeah.
mom?
Yep,
Yeah.
that's
Yeah,
Eclipse's
and that's
mom.
Eclipsa.
Oh, but the spider didn't do anything.
Man.
Oh,
Oh, jeez.
yes, such a reign of terror. Poor spider.
Look at Eclipse's mom having the rainbow dash kitty marks for her cheeks.
What?
Warrior queen.
Oh, they're not appreciating her.
Well.
They're not willing to pay the iron price.
Mm-hmm.
That is
So,
actually.
I want a Snickers. Hyper reaction.
You want Snickers? You want Snickers?
Yes, I want the Snickers. Oh, wait, no,
This
that's
is
not-
Mina's backstory.
I cannot believe she has Sailor Moon's hair.
Yes, he does, actually.
Ooh.
What?
Uh-oh.
Oh, wow, that's brainwashing 120. That's true. She did that.
Ooh.
Oh yeah, that Game of Thrones reference I made earlier was actually very intentional.
Yeah,
Yep.
I see that now.
No, her mother, Solaria, is actually voiced by Yara Greyjoy from Game of Thrones.
Oh,
Whoa.
That
wow.
escalated quickly.
Yeah, it did. All right, let's just take the butterfly stuff off here.
Even though it looked cool. Mm-hmm. That's true. Yeah. What? Aw. Oh no, this is terrible.
Yes, it is.
This is terrible.
Yeah, that's far more painful than seeing Eclipse a hand over the wand, honestly.
Yeah, it is.
Oh, okay. Mhm. But aren't you a monster though?
Yeah, even Romulus is out of jail after he betrayed everybody.
Heckapoot's got the right idea. You hold him off. I'm getting out of here.
No. Yeah. Ooh. Where's the baby? Oh, there she is. Okay. Mm. Oh no, the poor
Whoa.
chicken.
That chicken was a valuable member of the community.
Chicken didn't do anything. Oh no. Yeah. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Oh really? Do it then.
Of course, Mina, with all her loyalty stuff, it doesn't count the second. The second it means ending things well enough.
I used to look up to this person.
Yeah, that's not going to happen.
That did.
Yeah. Of course they did.
Uh-oh.
Speaking of lightsabers being awesome.
Yeah, that's awesome, those thoughts. Yeah. What? Oh.
Heckapoo?
Probably.
Maybe.
Helicopter ponytail's nice.
I wanted to try it and the buffalo chicken.
Yay.
Next room.
Oh.
Go King.
Hey guys, what minute are we at?
Don't feed him chicken. Don't feed him meat.
What did you say, Carlos?
Oh,
What
wow.
minute are we guys at right now?
What?
What minute are we guys at right now?
11:05.
Got it.
The second part
What's
just
up?
started.
Second part, yay.
What's going on?
It
Yeah,
was
He was just
like
asking the
food.
time.
I'm here. I'm here now. Thanks.
It was like a food saving them all. Woo.
Okay. Yeah, Heckapoo, I'm still not sure I can let you off the hook.
Oh, wow. They're cool.
What? Oh.
How about that? Is this a Star Wars reference somehow?
Maybe a little.
Or tribute?
Oh.
Is it?
That's scary.
Interesting.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Oh, wow.
Ouch.
Eh.
Yeah, well, what?
Cat.
What?
Character development for
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah, that's true. She did
She
that.
didn't do that either. Wait. Oh,
Oh. This is
well.
pastimes again. She was meant to kill him, not free him. I bid you. Oh. Oh, he actually survived.
Wow.
Oh boy.
Boom.
Oh my god.
Oh,
And well, so you can tell why the character we didn't know very much about was in on this.
Wow.
no.
Yeah, Marco, that might be the wrong approach. Pomegranate juice.
Yeah, that's true.
So is that why how we're going to justify Star going back to Earth with Marco?
Maybe.
Oh, really?
Well,
Oh, ew, what?
Wow.
you're going to get a payoff to Glossaric this whole time?
What? Incidentally, this is why you should read your contracts.
Yeah.
Moon did not read the contract fine print.
Obviously.
Dang.
Probably
Nice.
leaving Meteora here, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. This is
Eat your heart out, Alice.
Wow.
Oh, really?
Okay, this is a bit out of nowhere.
Well, if that's their only option. No.
What the heck? Is this the grandma room?
That's a nice picture, too. Yeah. Oh. Hello.
Oh, wow.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's beautiful. Yeah, where's Marco?
No, Marco.
Yeah, and on Earth, yeah. And then you can't go and see him. Yeah. How the no. Aw.
Oh shit!
I forgot that's what that does.
Oh.
Ah! All right, we
All
turn
right.
that off. All right, we turn that off. We're just gonna go to the last final episode.
So you already jump straight to the next one?
Yes,
I guess so, yeah.
let's do it.
All right.
Ready?
Ready?
Story.
Excuse you.
Fellas?
Carlos.
Carlos!
Gator.
Gator song if you don't.
Paging all gators. Paging all gators.
Yeah.
Paging all gators to the podcast.
Going
Get
to
over here.
get all of your shell or whatever it is.
Hey, stop doing that barrel roll.
A barrel roll.
No, wait a minute, not the barrel roll. Stop doing that death roll.
So,
Stop doing that death roll with the lobster.
dragging the pizza under the surface.
You
and
sold
doing
me a
it.
bad gator.
You told me
No, he's only resting, I swear.
No, this gator has ceased to be. This is an ex-gator.
Which I think I actually have
Pushing
that
up
full speech
daisies.
memorized.
He's pushing up daisies. He rests in peace. He rests in pieces. He'll be fried in peanut oil and served on a plate of lettuce. This is an
Ooh.
ex-gator.
That sounds good. That sounds delicious.
I actually have
This
had.
gator is no more. He has ceased to be. If you hadn't nailed him to the cage, you'd be pushing up the daisies. This is a late gator. This is an ex-gator.
Who will then be drenched in peanut oil, fried with breading, and served on a bed of lettuce.
Sounds
With
good.
remoulade sauce.
Yeah, remoulade.
I've actually had.
Remoulade is-
By the way, I've actually had gator. I've actually had gator before, but not like I just described. And believe it or not, it tastes like chicken.
Oh, really?
Actually,
Okay.
I've had it before, and I concur. It does, in fact, taste like chicken.
I was actually a little disappointed.
Oh,
I was like, okay, it tastes like chicken.
I think
Well.
like the wildest thing I had ever was kangaroo. Kangaroo or like beetles.
Ew.
But that also tastes like chicken.
How do you think
Well-
beetles taste like chicken?
Yeah, the beetles does, but the kangaroo meat tastes like. Have you ever had horse? Horse meat.
Hold on, wait. Are you telling me? Are you telling me that you've had kangaroo and you've eaten kangaroo and horse?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought the
Did you-
beetles were more far out
did
than
you-
that.
Yeah.
Tell me, Day. Dude, tell me,
Well, not-
tell me, my
I'm
dear
not
Day,
calling
you didn't have any.
my human persona, not
Tell
my
me-
pony.
Oh,
Of
tell
course
me,
not.
Day Lover. Tell me, Day Lover, you didn't happen to eat Cozy Glow, did you?
I was trying, but she was too sour.
So what does horse and kangaroo taste
All
like?
right.
Like
I think I
horses.
finished with that pizza
Oh.
party just now. It was
Oh.
Okay.
Yay!
Yay!
Right on time. Well,
All right, ready?
I knew Gator wouldn't betray us for pizza.
Of course he wouldn't. He knew he wouldn't let us down.
The pizza was
betrayal for pizza is real.
Really
All right.
to myself.
All right, but is everyone ready for the final episode?
Let's do this.
Hold up.
Wait, Carla,
Come on. Stupid app. You gotta work with me, man.
You gotta work with us, man.
We're nearly in the finale.
We're at the end of the finale, man. We're at the end game, man.
Quickly,
End
the room
game.
meat is like really firm, and like horse meat is really sweetly tasting.
Wow.
Whoa.
Whoa.
Make some notifications
What conversation did you get yourself into, Gator?
Oh, this will be just, you know what? Just when Ninja releases this, just listen to the post conversation and woo, watch the fun.
Alright, let's do this.
Yes.
Yeah.
all right, everyone ready?
Ready.
Mhm.
Do it.
All right,
Okay.
press
Do
play
it.
in 3, 2, 1, star.
Yeah.
Woo!
The last time we're watching this intro.
Yeah.
Last time.
Yeah.
Can I have a kiss?
Why
Hey,
is
they
that?
shortened it.
I forgot
They
to
shortened it.
shorten it up.
How about that?
Okay, Hagaku, you're a little bit too willing to work together with Star on this.
Oh my god.
Oh,
Wow.
Suicide or self-sacrifice? It's a matter of perspective.
mhm.
Now you decide to be chummy.
Nice.
Ooh. Yeah. Aw.
Aww.
Aw.
A
Aw.
mother could be so proud of their daughter.
You didn't know that.
No, that just looks wrong. No, that just looks wrong right there.
Oh wait, doesn't he have a say in this?
Oh,
Ah!
oh, that's creepy.
No.
Pudding.
Glossrick spiked the pudding.
Huh. Uh,
Wow.
Oh, that's
No.
nice.
Huh?
he's just been here the whole time.
He's been
Well,
corrupted. Oh my god.
Go destroy your family's legacy.
Tom's not made of magic. He's just a demon, right?
Yeah. Ooh.
Yeah.
Yeah, but his memory just got kept getting basically. There's nothing in there right now currently,
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's
Oh.
so
so.
he's easily influenced.
Come on.
Oh my god.
You moron.
So this king sneaking away Globgore
You're
is gonna
both-
have no
you're
payoff.
both morons.
No. Don't tell her everything. Silent. Oh no.
Wait, what?
Why?
Oh, brother.
Oh.
Oh.
You finally hear what this spell is.
Oh my god, I'm getting flashbacks to kind of.
Because you're not whispering, Star.
Oh no.
Okay, pudding time.
Yeah,
Oh my god.
Mm.
Oh my god. Oh no.
Mixed martial arts rainbow thing.
Oh no, how cute.
What?
Ken bomb.
Oh no, kidding, Bob.
Oh my god.
Kick the cute little evil thing.
Oh gosh.
Oh my god.
A little song. Oh no, no, no.
Huh?
No,
No.
don't do the typical zombie apocalypse thing. I'm hiding your
Wait,
star.
what's supposed to have happened to him? He's infected?
Yeah, he got stung
Or
by
at the very
the
least,
unicorn, the evil unicorn.
Oh. Oh my god.
Wow. What? Yes. No.
Aww. Like a little tiny butterfly.
No,
Does this count as a
feels
royal
like My Little
flush?
Pony season
Yeah.
finale.
Probably.
Finale with like the different types of like princesses and queens and such. Oh god.
Wow, now all of the queens are coming.
Aw.
Oh.
Oh. Oh.
Yeah, they're not there. No.
Uh-oh.
Man. Ooh.
oh no.
Oh. We lost second.
Mm.
Second dropped.
Ooh.
Oh.
Oh no. Do we have to pause?
Yeah.
Don't
Do we have
pause
to-
yet. No.
Okay.
la-
Oh
Okay.
my god.
Oh, jeez.
Wow.
Oh.
Oh no.
And her cute little evil babies.
an evil unicorn babies.
Oh.
That's pretty cool.
Got the horses in the back.
Oh, and he's pissed off.
Oh yeah.
Oh God.
Oh no. Oh. Oh no,
yes.
that's good, right? Yeah. Oh, okay. Oh,
Whoa.
cute.
We
I
might
thought
get
it
a
was going to
unicorn.
become even more evil. Oh. Oh.
Aw.
What's happening?
Oh God.
Yeah, it's
The whispering spell.
Yeah, the whispering.
Oh.
Oh.
Oh man. Oh my God, acceptance.
Oh.
Aw.
Oh. Yeah, he's going to fade out of fixed senses.
Oh
Oh.
my God. You can't have me feeling sad for the Glossary Now show. You can't do this, guys. Oh God. Oh.
Oh.
No. Oh.
Aw.
Beautiful. Oh.
Aw.
Dang. Can't be like making me feel this bad for Starco now.
Aw.
Dang.
Yay.
Oh
Oh.
God. Oh my God, it's like Inuyasha all over again. Oh God. Oh God.
Marco, what did you do? Why?
Aw.
Oh. Second, you're right in the right.
Aw.
Oh my God. Oh.
Oh my God.
Okay, my connection totally died there for a minute, and I think I'm way behind.
Yeah. Oh
Yay.
no. Oh.
Love is magic.
Oh.
Like, I've got to be a whole minute behind by now at least, maybe more.
Yeah, we are at 11:54, 55, 56, 58,
Yeah, I'm at
59,
8:40, and I think you're the only one that can hear me right now, Day.
I can hear you. I can hear you, second.
5.
We're at 12:05 right now.
No, that's not helping. I'm too far behind.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you want? Should we pause? What should we do?
Are we pausing?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Wait.
Are we really
Ninja.
pausing?
Ninja, are we pausing?
I guess pause and go back to 12.
Ninja.
Yeah.
Okay, pause. Okay, pause. Everybody pause.
All right.
And go back to 12.
Oh
right?
my gosh. Oh my gosh. Ninja's
my
just
God.
dropped the Skype thing.
Oh, just tell her I
Jeez.
just need to pick up a.
Okay, how did that happen?
Wow, this is just so emotional, this episode.
Okay, can you hear me?
All right. Yeah, I can hear you. All right.
Okay,
we can't hear a second, but we can't hear a second right now, or at least me and Jen can't. But
I can hear second. I can hear
I
second.
know it's but me and Jen can't just because of weird hangout shenanigans.
Yeah.
We'll wait until
Hang
after.
out shenanigans.
It's shenanigans.
I think we'll try the drop out and drop in thing to fix it after after we finish the react.
Okay, let's do that.
All right.
All right. Well, first, we're going back to the
at the 12-minute mark.
Yeah, the exact 12-minute mark.
Okay, let me.
12.
When I can't find anything. There it is. Okay, 12 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yeah.
All
All
right.
right. Is everyone all right? Everyone there and ready?
Yeah.
I hope
Okay,
so.
hold
Megan,
on,
are
hold
you
on.
ready at
I'm
12?
still behind that part.
Ready at 12. Yes, I got it 12.
How much do you need to watch? Second.
What?
Second less behind.
Yeah, second
I'm
is
still like 2 minutes behind.
Now he's
2
2
minutes.
minutes behind. Before he was like at 8:04,
All right.
like when we
All
were
right.
at 12.
Just tell me and Jen when he's at 12.
So you need to be at 12 and then pause it, and then we are going to start again.
Oh wait a minute. Or maybe like you tell us as soon as like your thing reaches 12, and then we all press play at that time.
Yes.
All right. Like okay, just verbally say it, and then I'll say it to like everyone else here
Yeah.
that can hear me.
Second, are you good with that?
Are you at 11 right
Am
now?
I good with what?
What time
Saying that
are you
when
at?
you're at 12 and then, yeah.
What? Am I? Say that again.
Okay, you need to pause it at 12 then, and then we
Mhm.
are going to continue from
Yeah.
12.
Yeah.
Okay, so. All right, so 12 minutes is where we continue
Yes.
from.
Yeah.
Yes. This is just so heart-wrenching. This is something. Uh-oh.
All right, give
Hey,
me
Jen,
like 30
I'm just
seconds.
gonna
I'll be there.
mute you on Skype for 1 sec. Well, I'm gonna end Skype just for a second and pop back in. So if we
Okay.
disconnect, it was on purpose.
Okay.
Okay. Yay.
Oh.
Yeah. Oh man, this episode almost got me to cry though.
Aw.
Yeah. That feels it's like so intense, man. It's like
They're making sure we feel everything, so that's
They're-
good.
they're making
Wait,
sure
did you
they
guys start
actually-
playing the episode again?
No.
No,
We're just
but
talking.
we're
about the
talking
episode.
about what happened.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
They really actually are selling.
But
stuff
I
out.
guess it's not a spoiler to say like you were crying.
All right, I'm
Well,
ready
I don't
when
think
you
it's a
guys are
spoiler
now.
that said, yeah, I cried.
Yeah.
Stupid, lousy computer.
Okay, back again?
Completely lost all
Yeah,
connection
all
to
right.
the internet.
Is
Okay.
everyone at 12 now?
Yes.
I'm at 12.
Are you
Yeah.
at 12
All
seconds?
right.
Yes.
All right. All right. Everyone, second can hear us, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
Second. Yes.
Mhm.
All right. All right. Everyone's press play in 3, 2, 1, play.
There we go.
Yay. On the crocodile gator, you're in the show.
Yay! More representation.
Wah, 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 wah.
Oh my god! Look at them!
Oh, poor
Ah.
gator.
Oh, that's kind of hurting.
The gators.
Throw them around by their eyeballs.
Their cheek marks are gone.
Weird.
Aw.
Mm.
The magic
Yay.
armor.
Yay!
Oh.
Mhm. Oh no, the poor gators.
That is
It's gotta
They
hurt.
must die. Oh no, the poor gators are so good.
Oh, River.
Aw.
Oh.
Hello.
Uh-oh.
God. Yeah. You're still alive.
It's dead.
Yeah, it's just a little bit dead. Oh. Okay.
What?
Oh, God. Hatred and ideology. Oh, God.
Okay.
What?
Oh.
Oh.
And that other guy was just stupid or whatever. I don't know.
Blind loyalty, I guess. Oh.
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 Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh. Oh. So cute.
Oh. Dang.
Oh, they shouldn't be able to fly though, should they?
Yeah.
Oh.
Pigeon.
Okay, so what is the point of any of that?
Oh, so Ponyhead can fly even though she doesn't have magic? That's interesting.
I'm no longer
Okay, well, how is Ponyhead a floating thing then?
Yeah, that's a good question. That was what I was wondering too.
Oh. Look.
Mhm.
Wait, what? Wait, so they went back to the original dimensions? Dang.
Mm.
Oh.
Aw.
Oh. Okay.
Aw.
Okay.
Aw.
Nice.
Yeah. He is probably doing that, yeah.
Probably.
The double shapes is just too much. Oh, no.
Worms.
What? Oh.
Oh, yeah.
They're homeless now.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Well, they
Well,
deserve it.
hard
I'm
to be
sorry.
that sorry.
What about
Except for-
Heckapoo? But what about Heckapoo though?
Poor
Well,
Heckaboo, we
she's
know him
stuck
now.
in that dimension where she was safe, right?
Maybe.
Could be.
Oh.
Forgot about it.
Forgot about
And her shenanigans.
Oh, without powers. Oh.
Here, cooking with the
You said
ship. No. Oh.
Yeah. That's
Reminds me a
little
lot
leg
about
now.
JoJo right now.
Mm. Wow. What is this?
What?
What is? Oh, shit.
Don't.
What? Oh. Okay, so no false plot line.
You guys
Where-
know who
I'm a
Star is.
baby.
Did they forget everything? I hope not. Yeah. Mm.
Oh. Yeah. Oh. Oh my god.
Oh dear.
Oh dear, yeah.
I'm unlocking you.
Mm.
Oh.
Oh.
What?
Portal.
Nice. Go,
Of
go.
course, Jenna would know how to do that.
Jenna. Go, Jenna.
Of course, Jenna would know how to do that.
Yeah.
I love this beat.
Dang. Aw.
Wow, Jackie. Hadn't seen her in a while.
Yeah.
Well, she was in
Actually,
one
it's
of
only
the
been like a few
last Honor
episodes.
episodes.
True.
Oh my god, it says features in the TV show. Ludo.
Oh,
Ludo!
That's our Ludo payoff.
Hey, Starfan 13.
okay.
Hey, it's the crazy cat lady.
This is interesting.
The mouses.
Oh,
Oh no,
Oh my
hurry!
god.
hurry, yeah.
Go, go,
Who's
go!
gonna make it first? Who's gonna make it first?
Yeah. And that tension.
Oh!
Whoa!
Oh!
Dang. Boom.
Kablooey!
Star came through
Oh
to be with him.
no.
Maybe.
Yeah, we're not seeing anything on the Muni side.
Mm. What?
The dragon cycles.
Oh, it became part
Oh,
of
yay!
Yes! That's even better.
Wait.
Yes! Oh, wow.
Oh my god.
They got cleaved.
They got
Cleaved?
The world
fused together.
What, the dimensions merged or something?
That is a message merged.
Oh my god! Nightmare for arachnophobes everywhere.
Oh, they merged the worlds together.
Humans.
Society as we know it has been destroyed. All hail the new chaotic anarchy.
Oh, wow.
Anarchy! Anarchy!
They merged their worlds. Oh.
Wow.
The symbolism is just too high.
Symbolism!
They're going to merge the worlds in 2 sentences. Uh-huh. Oh, yay!
Yay!
And then they like use like we pan out because we already had a kiss out.
Oh,
Dang.
so when
A crazy ending for a crazy show.
There you go.
Reactor from Star.
wow, that was beautiful.
Oh my gosh. It's over.
It's over. It's over.
Well, that's what we're going out on.
Oh, we've come to the end of the road.
So when Star and Marco get married, they officially like bond the 2 worlds together 100%.
Yeah, absolutely. Now talk about a pretty darn cool symbolism right
That
there.
was really, really good symbolism.
Of what?
Yeah, it's like not. It's like.
Yeah.
It's like, one's complete, they're not there. It's not the whole "you complete me" BS. It's the more like they're complete individuals, but they're complete wholes. But bring them together, they make one big greater whole. They make one big greater whole.
Like a world together.
Bingo.
I don't know.
Bingo.
That's
It's one big, brand new, great big whole new world together.
That's a lot for
that is great.
ending,
That is beautiful. That's a great finale. Now I'm kind of sad.
what's going to
now it's over.
Yeah, I just want to say, in terms of like the aesthetic, I just absolutely love the aesthetic of the Muni Earth hybrid. It just flows. It's so vibrant with life and energy.
The poor humans that are going to be humans now.
Humans are going to be are going to be.
That's only the tip of the iceberg here.
Humans now?
Yeah.
Well, technically, since they destroyed the human magic, they're all humans now.
Yeah, they're all humans now. So it's only the monsters that are different from.
So many questions. That lays out
it's
much.
now brings to mind the Daft Punk song, like that we are human after all.
Yeah. Well, I don't like if they're not like our world. I think like the human world there wasn't that they were more open about like stuff with monsters and stuff like that, because with Star and Tom being in the realm and nobody called the police or surgeons to be like, what's that? So I think like they're going to be fine.
I think so too. I think so too. This was like a really great. The
monsters just needs to know, like they have to behave a little bit more, like the spider putting his webs on the
tree.
I was just like, hey, no. But still, also a part of me was just like, interesting.
I wonder like what Buffrog Buffrog's kids and Meteora like going to school together and such.
Yeah, they're going to go to school together.
Well, that is fulfilling the promise of Marco Pelosia and
but I'll go
the Marco's sister and the princess will grow up together like they promised in the Never Zone.
Yeah, but I will go quick and then I'll be off.
Me too.
I really love this ending. I think it has great symbolism. It was beautiful. It made me cry. What more can I ask for?
Very true. Very true. And actually, I'm going to echo, and I am going to make it simple, and I'm going to echo my sentiment of what Day Lover said. This was a wonderful finale. This is a wonderful finale, and I'd go into more, but I'm going to save that for the big star discussion.
Before both of you head off, I just want to repeat like a quote from I read this on the Star versus Reddit, and I feel it actually serves as a beautiful explanation of everything. I mean, it's a fan theory technically, but it's sort of this beautifully flows with the show. Basically, the reason like the worlds were cleaved is like when the magic was fading and was getting ready to send them back. The magic dimension, like Star belonged on Muni, and like Marco's place was on Earth, but they also belonged together. So that's why it cleaved the universe together.
Oh, that's even
So that's
that's wonderful. Darn it, Star! Now you're going to make me believe in love. Love is magic.
One last time, like saying,
love is magic. Love is magic. Like bacon, magic.
Yeah, bacon. Oh my god.
Bacon sounds so good right now. Love and friendship are the real magics, people. Yes.
If we meet at BronyCon, we can eat cheese and stuff together.
Yes, let's do it.
No.
I'm gonna so find the
Just gonna
nearest
stop.
Kroger, and I'm gonna find the nearest Kroger, and I'm gonna see if they've got the nice thick bacon that my mother uses. And yes, we will share. We must partake. We must partake in good thick American bacon in the name of friendship.
I have a feeling bacon wasn't America's idea.
And now time for
Who cares?
time for sleep.
Yeah, time for food and sleep. So you guys,
Absolutely. So
this was fun, and
Alright.
wishing on the shooting star for like maybe a spin-off or something else good. But
Yeah.
yeah, we will.
The one thing I'm hoping for, which it's been so far, all the production thing, it's not like, oh, there's a secret thing. As of now, it's completely done.
Mhm.
However, like they
I
still
think they're
might
going
do
to
like in the
hold
future.
off with that.
No, they
Yeah.
might just do like a movie ending, which like because a few different Disney shows have like ended, and then like a year or two later they've had like a movie.
Yeah, they could definitely make a Star versus movie. I would go and
I'd watch
watch that.
Ditto. But I'm gonna go ahead and get off here. So,
Me too,
but yeah,
but-
we both loved it. This was an awesome finale.
and more
Emma,
details in the next
yes.
one, right? Yeah.
Absolutely. And MLP, you might want to take notes here. But other than that, shots fired and bacon, friendship, shooting stars. Oh boy, time to go to sleep.
Yeah.
Good night, everybody.
Good night.
Bye. Yeah.
Night, you guys.
Good
Or
night.
see you.
Good night.
Take care.
Also, I'm
Yeah, what
gonna
I was gonna
for a
say to
second,
the-
Carlos. I'm gonna leave just for a second. I'm gonna pop back in to hear your thoughts. I just can't hear seconds right now. I just can't hear seconds right now, so I'll just be back and try to fix that issue.
Yeah, right. I was
Gotcha.
invisible to Jen there. That would explain.
Invisible
I was-
to Jenn now?
Well, no, I mean, like, I was saying stuff, and, like, it seemed like she and Day were just too in the zone to even bother, but no, it was because
Alright,
they
I can hear
couldn't hear me. But,
I can hear you now.
Yep. But, yeah, DC's, cleave apart, cleave together thing, like, that would explain the purpose that the scene in the magic dimension between Star and Marco served, because, while something was definitely supposed to be happening there wasn't any explicit indication at first of what that did, because blowing the magical portal open or sending them back to their worlds and stuff, I mean, that all was gonna happen anyways. But that they cleaved the worlds together, that is something that destroying the magic dimension wasn't necessarily going to do. So yeah, that would be the explanation for that.
Mm-hmm. You could also say, like, in the absence of a magic dimension, it might be like the great chasm that divides all the other dimensions, which made the cleaving a lot more easier.
Yeah. Also, I know one thing that's confused. This confused. I've read this on the Reddit. Some people are comments is it's gotten rid of the magic, but it's not gotten like Star got rid of magic, but not magic altogether, or like what we think of magic. It just got rid of like the queen, like the human magic, because like the natural abilities, air quotes, like some creatures are still there, like the pony heads still float, and the monsters like still have their whatever natural abilities they have, or at least we think they do, because that was never said to be magic, like the Toffee, and then never considered the Septarian's ability to basically regenerate like Wolverine. That's not technically magic, but it's just like ability. So it's like those aren't gone, but like things that are directly from the Muni magic, the Queen's magic, which that stuff is gone, which is sort of like in byproduct the magical high commission, because those were actually spawned to help humans understand magic. It's like in the book, so like that's why they're gone, and also the portals are gone because that was part of the human magic.
Dang. I get it.
Which, yeah.
It's one of those things like I really do hope in a year or two we do get a movie just to wrap things up and just sort of like answer some questions and just sort of like also I just want to see this cleaved world more in action. Because
that's a lot to drop into something that's only like that is only the last shot, and then nothing else. Never.
But that is such a good shot. That is a very good concentrated shot. Like a nice panning. Yeah.
It's a lot. It's almost more than they might even realize in that's what we're going out on. That, I mean, that's a huge change in dynamic to be not a new direction, but a resolution.
And heck, I wouldn't even mind if they do like a spin. They won't do it, but if Disney like do want to do a spin-off series that follows like Mariposa and Meteora, like as them as teens, like in this cleaved world, I would absolutely love that to death if that was what they did instead. But I know we won't get that, which makes me sort of sad, but I'm still happy with the ending. It's like this makes me like want more in a sort of good way overall.
Yeah.
Well, let me just say, at least compared to the two big finales we had of our shows that happened when the Sunday aired, this would be, I would say, the better one to Game of Thrones.
Yeah. I still haven't gotten into Game of Thrones, so can't comment on that.
I know. Carlos hasn't caught up, or is up, but I thought you were, but I wasn't sure.
No, I'm still on like episode 2. Day Lover's the one who Day Lover and Jenn, I guess, are really into Game of Thrones. But, as series finales go, though, I mean, well, I'll start with on its own merits. Like, okay, once again, Star Versus does what it wants, and heck with what your expectations would have been, because I mean, I'm like split down the middle on saying that, regardless of how good it did it or whether it actually told the right season finale, because I mean, if you think about how much is on the table here, like Mina tightening her grip and the army of robots and about to march monsters off a cliff and their time is running out as soon as she finds Globgor, and the king and his buddy racing Globgor to the magic sanctuary to heal them and such, and the Queen Moon having betrayed everything and wrapped them in, like, put them in a corner where now she is really hurting for some redemption. And Queen Moon, Eclipse, are rather trying to cobble together some kind of plan. All of that goes nowhere. That has no payoff. Like, instead, we get Star's sudden urge to destroy all magic, and okay, we get that story instead, and everything else, it's like the reverse Chekhov's gun that never went off. Like, everything that that the bad guys had on the table, that just suddenly becomes the story that is irrelevant. It's a side note. It's tangential to the actual question that kind of just came up. I mean, I'm sure we can, you could track tangentially related points all throughout the series, and maybe setups to where they knew they were going to do this, go this route, but you can feel them kind of straining to put it in there. That Star even admits it was a temper tantrum at one point to say that all magic should be destroyed, but this tapestry says it's the right choice, so I yes, it is, and I mean it has to push itself to front and center, skimming by a lot that
Well, I
brings up.
think
Like, okay, doesn't Marco have a say in this? Doesn't Hekapu's like, okay, I'll never have existed at all. I'll be dead if not worse, but it'll do some good. And then the other magical commission guys and Glossaric don't even get to have a say on whether they're okay with not existing anymore. Which, granted, I am not hurting for Romulus so much. That's probably an appropriate punishment for him. But I mean, like, I don't know, Glossaric, it's implied that he doesn't like it, but at one point, but so what? And then it's like, I don't know, for a show that's been playing with the interdimension angle so much, like the fun of Marco having his little friend from another dimension, the fun of Marco being from Earth and on Muni and such, and it's like, I don't know, okay, the throwing that out, like I mean, I feel like part of the success there kind of rests on not giving us a chance to care about the stuff that you would normally care about when hearing that announcement, because season finale, the real important thing right now is whether it is the morally right decision and whether it solves the problem, and just think about that part, just that part. And that said, unlike a lot of the problems I had with Toffee's big finale, just like, okay, where did all of this even come from? Like, okay, for this to be the route we take a hard right into, for this to be the story we tell in the final episode instead of the one with the giant robots and the monsters running out of time and the prejudice and such, on its own terms, it, like, in and of itself, it doesn't necessarily not work, and there are some pretty powerful moments in it. And most of which is probably, the greatest of which is probably Star and Marco going back for each other and having their, holding each other as the world collapses around them. That was pretty powerful. So I'm not, okay, last thing to say, I'm not, like, quite so frustrated by it as I was with Toffee's finale. I'm just like, I'm like both moved and unsatisfied at the same time.
Well, yeah, I just want to say, like, well, they did sort of tie in, like, that magic armor thing. That was part of the reason, sort of the bigger reason why she was immediately like, okay, we need to destroy the magic, was that was the only way they knew that could outright just take away that power. The only other option was like trying to overpower with magic. Yeah, but I was unsure. And like the other option was for Eclipse just to keep using her spell thing, but that would have that would not have ended well. And everyone knows, like, yeah, that would most of me.
I mean, the last one caused some peripheral damage, but I mean, it seemed like it. And granted, you could say, well, hey, I mean, they were worried about using it again because presumably that was the lucky optimal result. But I mean, it's okay. So the consequences of destroying the magic, including that at least 4 lives, end right there. Like, the other solutions are not even worth considering, not even trying. And makes it almost doubly frustrating is, I mean, it could be that Star just, like, bounces from thing to thing with such glee so much that, remember this for later, that, I don't care to as much, but the points that it might have been trying to lay out long term. But destroying all magic, was that even laid out as a possibility before now? I mean, I know that the magic river thing has been corrupted before and all that, but the whisper spell destroying all magic, I mean, like, was it explicitly stated at any point that could do that, or is that just like, okay, a spell that destroys everything plus a magic river that can be corrupted, put them together, and sure, this could destroy magic?
Well, like, the thing is, like, the magic dimension is like the source of all the magic. The whispering spell was used. Yeah, the whispering spell was what Star used before. That's like the spell that all the young princes are taught, that like it destroys the wand's magic source. And the idea behind it was like we do that, but inside the magic dimension is basically it's a self-destruct spell for the wand, but using it inside the like core of all magic basically causes a chain reaction that destroys all of the magic.
I don't know if that's enough to stop it from feeling a little MacGuffin-y, like army of giant robots. We don't need to find a solution to take down all of them or to hit them in their Achilles heel because we have this solution that we invented by putting this and this together from, like, we put these two concepts together and had the characters say, well, of course that's how it works. Of course that solves the problem and gets rid of all magic. Which,
yeah,
I don't know.
the
Again,
thing is,
it's
like,
not so much as like, I mean, it's better than reach into magic soup equals solve all your problems, get your magic power up, and destroy Toffee. But I mean, it's still a little Deus Ex Machina-ish.
well, like I won't say that's Deus Ex Machina, but I will say that it does feel a little rushed. How quickly, like this, a lot of the season, I felt this episode, you can already tell, should have at least been done 26 episodes instead of 21. So I feel that it does get rushed because we quickly go from like the being overwhelmed with the armory of magic knights that they quickly do switch over to let's destroy magic. However, it has been a building theme that like just the disparity that the magic that the humans have, it just sort of keeps creating problems in Muni. It's sort of like
that's sort of prejudice was what was creating problems, and
well, it's
that's
basically
the other thing. I mean,
it's basically
they only had to semi.
It's just sort of the idea behind absolute power corrupts absolutely, and with the magic wand, like what it allows is it just is so much concentrated power, and like it's sort of just actually there's a lot of Game of Thrones reference, but the idea is like the sons of kings are like idiots. Like the idea, like those in the finale of Game of Thrones, like the idea that brought up is like that these sons of like kings are like, yeah, you can't necessarily trust that to them. It's just the idea of here is like, yeah, even if they found another solution, like stars or I guess Meteora's like great grandchildren could have just been like a idiot or a maleficent queen, and then things just start back up.
Granted, I could see that the monarchy deciding that the monarchy needs to end, but I mean, all of that, like, I mean, as true as a lot of it is, that, yeah, the show didn't say any of that. It didn't have the characters contemplate all that and come to that decision. Like, you had to, draw it, like, had to draw that, conclude that as a reason. It's perhaps a good explanation yourself, which, not that it's not necessarily, but I mean, well, this is where stuff gets complicated, vocalizing why these things never feel satisfying this way. But I mean, it's like,
yeah, I get why you feel your unsatisfied, like how you can feel so unsatisfied, because like I said, the issue I find is like this I felt could have been lengthened, like this, how like this. It sort of was like a movie event, like the Toffee thing with all the preceding episodes, but it wasn't as much. So I felt if it would have got the same sort of like it's a movie air quote, but it's already just a bunch of like 5 or 6 episodes, like the Toffee Battle for Mooney was. If it would have got more lengthened like that, I felt would have been stronger, like more hitting the notes that yeah, this magic it is like you can deal with this problem now, but like it just existing just creates like a natural disparity, which eventually will be abused one way or the other.
And then that's another one. Like that might be true, it might not be, but I mean, the interesting part of that wouldn't be like, it isn't, hey, I can I can sit down with myself and decide this interpretation. The interesting part is, or at least would have been, the characters coming to that conclusion, having to like draw that out of their experiences and out of their what they've been through, what their beliefs, and all of the above. Like just having them decide, like having that be the solution, because well, we need a solution by this point is less interesting.
All right. I was like I recently finished like one of the 2017 animes from Studio Trigger, like my Witch Academia, like which reminded me about like this ending about like no magic like the negative about such a thing for like people who were dependent on like casting spells like make life feel like fulfilling, or it's like waning and like the consciousness and such. Like I feel like in this like just taking away like magic from the equation is certainly like removing like one arms that people can take, because humans are just really like just humans that were raised in another dimension with magic, and this was like a one alternative path to like seeing like the hateful like side of humanity, like do like these humans, and seeing how like they really divulge into the dark ages stereotypes of people. It makes you think about like overall like how like this conflict of hatred didn't really end at the end of the series, which is fine, because like it's always going to be like trying to pick up hatred in any form, even if it's small and idiotic. But I really did like it. Like that Mina wasn't actually like killed off per se, even though I don't like her at all. Like like we let her live. She's still able to like voice her opinion, even though it's a very toxic opinion. And even if some people follow her, it's like some other people who have tried through that opinion have now seen like the better light, because like, oh, I'm definitely not that hateful. Like it's like it makes you think like, do I really want to epitomize hatred from the bottom of my heart about these creatures? No. I don't feel it's an joke, but yeah.
Yeah, Mina lays that out at the end that like you can't like idiocy of her brand tends to stick around, that there tends to be a reason that it's infectious. But I mean, the whole final conflict isn't, I mean, like that's kind of something she gets to add on at the end after losing in a way that involved confronting none of her mindset. Like the closest we got was Star reading the riot act to what she thought was Mina and turned out to be an empty suit of armor. And yeah.
Well, the thing is, we did already.
It's like it got cold feet on it a little bit.
Well, the thing is, we already did sort of confront the idea that was one idea that was confronted in the season, that like this sort of bigotry, it can't really be fixed. Like some people just can't be redeemed, and like they even ended on that now that Mina, she's not going to change our views on monsters, and not in several humans aren't either. Like Manfred, it's just like just going to stick around. It's just up to the next generations. Which actually is a sort of ending note with Meteor, or how they're like, how we should raise her like Star and all that. I just wanted to go off of, I actually do remember I almost forgot the similarities. Yeah, like the plot point that's brought up with my Witch Academia, but even more, I feel even better comparison is the Aeolus arc in Fairy Tale.
Yes. That's also a very good anime arc to make reference to.
Because, like, are you aware of that arc second, or?
From My Hero Academia?
No,
Fairy Tale.
Fairy Tale and the Analos arc.
Nah.
All right. The idea of that is sort of similar, but like it's basically in Fairy Tale, it's revealed that there's a parallel dimension that that they can. There's been some interaction with. It's called Edoros. It's actually where a lot of a few main characters are revealed to be from. The idea of this is a parallel world where a lot of the personalities is flipped. That in this world, magic exists, but it sort of exists like oil, where it's like a limited resource that there's only so much of it to go around, and like basically one kingdom's conquered the world and is like sort of hoarding it. It's creating a big power struggle because like it's a limited resource in the same way we fight over oil and resources today. That's sort of like an issue. Well, the king of it, like the prince figure, it comes back. He was banished. He eventually gets saved. One of his final solutions is basically he just fixes like the conflict is to just dump the rest of the magic that what is left of it, dumping it back into the main fairy tale universe, which has the main fairy tale universe of magic is unlimited pretty much. Like it's a semi-finite, like basically it's a recharge, like the world itself recharges its magic, but in this world it doesn't. So like you basically get rid of magic from this world. It's like, yeah, it's gonna be tougher now, but like it's better to get rid of this limited resource and just like not fight over it anymore. And just move on and like struggle to get with that. And that's sort of the resolution there. Again, like this is something like when we eventually do a discussion video of like a bigger comparison, but like, yeah, it's like there's a lot of similarities I feel there. But like that's sort of the idea that's brought up. But like the main difference there is like it was a limited resource though they're fighting over here. It's just like a not limited resource, but like just so like it's limited who gets to use it is the limited factor.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Magic as a resource, which, although, yeah, wondering if we do ever get a follow-up to this, what they're gonna say about what's still weird and wild in the world and what has been normalized by the destruction of magic.
I'm just like now wondering like what is like like our history is gonna like mingle because like how is anyone gonna be able to like collect their own like a history together and just be like, wait, this world, do we even need to know our history? Like, how do we teach our histories in like in terms and such? Like, there's many different dimensions here with their own paths and such, right? Like,
well, here it's only two dimensions were cleaved. It was the Muni and Earth. The other dimensions are still separate, where Town and Kelly are. It's just like because the Earth and Muni were cleaved. But yeah, there is still like the things like okay, we're gonna have to work with like it's one of those things if you try to think too much like as in they're like there's another fair joke. It's reminding me. Yeah, it's like one of those things like yeah, if you try to think of logic, there's a lot of like there's a lot of social norms and all that have to be worked out because like hey, we have a queen here. It's like hey, this is technically LA, like that's where Marco and all them lives, like offshoot of LA area. Yeah, this is so technically part of the United States. But yeah, we don't have a queen here. We're gonna, yeah, that's issues that are going to be dealt with. But that's like one of those things. Like it's going to have to be waved away to a certain degree because like you can't apply too much real world logic to it just because it's in terms of that regard. But yeah, if there is a movie sequel series, they'll have to sort of deal with some of those issues. That actually reminded me of another fairy tale comparison. Is this is a actually newer arc, so I won't say who and what, but one character she uses a spell that sort of doesn't cleave things together, but like it basically reworks. It's a spell that like is a spatial time magic, but the way it works is it basically shrinks the world down, and part of a side effect of that is it sort of like cleaves like things together. Like this city's features gets cleaved with this city's features, things like, oh, they're like aesthetically that is what it reminded me of. Um, I won't say who and what, but like, yeah, a witch uses a spell to sort of like, it's like, okay, we need to sort of bring our forces closer here and all that. And a big battle is going. Let's just make everything smaller so we have less area to travel through. So like entire continent gets reduced down like a tenth its size. So a lot of cities and all that like are crunched together and sort of fuse. And I was like, it's like, oh, that reminded me of this aesthetic. Um, well, anyway, yeah, we can. I think there's our points, but we can bring that up in the official Star versus discussion because I think we're all tired and uh,
Boy,
Yes, we should end things off. Yeah.
lots of looks like there's going to be a lot of excitement about analyzing the world and how it works when all is said and done, and the interpretation of a lot of stuff.
yeah. But
Which,
but overall, I would say I was very satisfied overall with the resolution. Um, Not saying it's like it'd be great as like animes and cartoons, like, oh, well, this like I don't want to say that, but in terms of like, does this is this a good, satisfying end note for me? And yeah, it is. So overall, I'm happy with that. Hell, I'll be extremely happy if MLP has a similar level of like resolution. Um,
well, they might give you that, yeah. I would be satisfied if MLP went out on this level of storytelling.
so, any other final thoughts from you two?
Well, compared to the other big events, like, I mean, I already said I like it better than Toffee. I see, like, season 2, the finale, where, yeah, Star has to leave Earth, return to Muni, confesses her love for Marco, which I think I've already forgotten what the larger conflict there was. Something about Ludo also having part of the wand, and
That was where that led into Toffee thing. That's like the one thing, yeah, I say like the movie thing, which was part of season 3, but like that aspect, it was really part of season 2. Season 2 was just really long, and they
yeah,
just don't say it because like
yeah,
the way everything worked, I was like, hell, even the way that if you cleave those parts off, I think season 3 ended up being like 21 episodes too, like season 4 ended up being. So it's like, yeah, you can really see like that. Yeah, further cements that like, yeah, that was part of see the movie Bow from Uni thing was like, yeah, that was really a resolution for season 2, not part of season 3, even though its episode count is, but narratively that's part of
yeah,
season
yeah.
two's resolution.
Yeah, really. So okay, there's that. I like it better than that. Meteora's thing. I mean, I think I remember being happier with the build up to evil Meteora than I was with the resolution of it. But I I don't know why. For some reason, I feel like I can't remember a ton about that off the top of the head, like my head. Like that exists in my mind as the heroes fighting the Meteora monster, like Heinus's uh, transformation into Meteora the monster. Like I don't know, something about that is distinctly not memorable. I mean, it feels like there's a sliver of space in which Heinous got her memories back and decided she wanted to conquer Muni, and just a sliver there that I'm sure exists somewhere in my memory, but that is not significant enough to pull back to. Okay, that is what that is. This, I mean, I do think it's a powerful finale, and I do think it's uh, shows a lot of the strengths of the series, and maybe some of the weaknesses too. Like I guess I always thought Star Versus did fun and character better than it did complexity and plotting. But Yeah, I mean, overall though, yeah, it's I'm like I said, I was at some points unsatisfied, but that's not the same thing as disappointed, and I'm not unhappy with this. In fact, there's a lot I like about it, and season 4 is still my favorite, save maybe for season 1. I still think it's the best one since the first one, so I don't know. All in all, I mean, I guess it's I guess best way to summarize is just that it's maybe not exactly what I was hoping for, but it, like, for reasons including that, it is a very Star versus way to end Star versus. So, what more can I say?
Carlos?
And that is a
Carlos,
very
you have any final
Carlos way
thoughts?
to end Carlos's thoughts. He's ghosting us.
Yeah. Should have simply put like a Final Thoughts as like Star versus with a wall of ride. Interesting characters populated like Tom, Jenna, Ponyhead, Seahorse, even Hekapu in the end, sort of like sacrificially redeemed herself. So
That is the most chill I'm gonna die speech I ever heard. I always thought the stuff did more harm than good anyway.
To be fair, like she has lived for
hundreds and thousands of millennia.
thousands because of the Never Zone. She's existed for like her time there. There are thousands or probably millions of years and all that. So it's like she has had a long run at least.
Yeah, see, show, how is it so hard for her to say stuff like that? It's not fun if we say it for ourselves, like, oh, surely that is what the show meant. That's like, I don't know, that's like, what, Peter punching Stewie after Meg tells him to in Family Guy. I did good? Shut up. I did good. I did good. I don't know, like, you know, telling yourself it works. It's so much more satisfying if the story actually, if that's actually what was in the story, and it compels you to think these things. It makes the characters go through this themselves. Like, kind of why they say it's not the destination, it's the journey.